for someone who would want to make their first million, how will they go about it? Like, I know people do different things, people have different interests, and I think keyword, you said passion.
Yes.
So maybe for any other person in a different field, how will they go about that angle? I feel like saizi, in that era where people really want to make money.
Yes.
And getting money when you're young is such a big flex.
Yeah. Yeah.
How will someone go about that maybe?
All right. So over and above the passion, I know, yes, that plays.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pesa Chronicles. My name is Leah Kingaru. Today we are joined by the female version of tall, dark and handsome. She is a powerful woman, a beautiful woman who's created systems and programs to help us with financial literacy and wellness. Let me welcome her so that she can introduce herself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kathleen Mureithi. I consider myself a thinker of my generation and one of Africa's most forefront young leaders. And I'm very passionate about financial education and, most importantly, championing innovative solutions that not only solve global challenges but also accelerate the economies of this world. And today we are about to have a conversation on these lines, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful time together.
Oh, nice. I'm excited.
Me too.
So maybe just to dive into it, could you please briefly walk us through your journey of how you got to be where you are?
I think it's a combination of preparation and opportunity. I have, over the period of years and looking at my career trajectory, I have found myself in places where my mind has been the key asset per se. My voice, what I speak, I don't know if it's a gift but something that God gave me, and it has put me in places where I have experienced growth. Wow. So I have a background in statistics. So I'm a data person, I think in numbers, I think in 1 and 0, but over time, also having worked in different industries, I have been able to expose myself to different cultures, and that has opened other doors, and here I am today.
Oh, nice. You've mentioned different industries.
Yes.
Maybe just a quick walk through the different industries you've been in.
Oh, wow. All right. So I started this journey back in campus, in my third year of study. First of all, I went to campus, not in Nairobi.
Oh, where?
I don't want to mention it. Yes. So I was lonely for a period of time. And I think, when you're in a space where there's not much going on, your mind sort of subconsciously puts you in a position where you create opportunities for yourself. So that's what happened. So I started a business back then, and it grew. It grew so much. As you can see,
kind of business
it was digital signage marketing.
Nice,
it was digital.
Nice.
I had no background in business, but the friends that I had built in that space helped me now. And then after campus, came back to Kenya, and then that's when now the digital marketing space was starting to be very vibrant. I think you remember in PSVs we had now we started seeing big screens in certain streets in Nairobi,
Kwani, when was it?
Me Simze, guys. Gen Z. Yes, so it was capital intensive, so I sold my business. Yeah.
Okay.
And then now I left entrepreneurship. Then I went into a 9-to-5, but entrepreneurship kept calling me. All right. So at some point I was a hybrid entrepreneur, doing a 9-to-5 and also running a business on this other side. So from marketing, I found myself in health, and then went to renewable energy, went to health again, did security. Lakini mimi ni mzuri, guys. I worked for the government at some point, and then now financial literacy. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting. So based on your journey, I'm sure a lot of people maybe have seen you, have done a bit of research about you. What is that one thing they don't know? Like, that thing that maybe during your journey you went through, but guys don't really know that aspect of it.
So I might come across as a very serious person. I was looking at my social media pages the other day, and I was trying to empathize, putting myself in the shoes of the other person.
Okay.
And I realized, oh my goodness, I am very serious. You know, I need to relax a bit. So what people don't know is, over and above the seriousness that they see, I am a pretty laid back lady. I am introverted. I mean, that's very clear, but I do appreciate some of my friends who push me out of my comfort zone. So I've done some adventures that I'm very proud of, you know. So over and above the seriousness, I tend to believe that I'm a very fun
The
and
little
happy
girl
person.
is still there.
Still there. We're still healing that little girl.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So for you to, after the journey in the different industries,
Yes.
so what really stood out for you to get into that financial and education space?
All right, so you see now, if you're working in several industries, you're immersing yourself in different components of your life, and finance is one thing that was really constant.
Okay.
Because now I had to clearly understand my relationship with money. I made my first million before 21, right? So
Nice.
making that large amount of money without a clear understanding of what your relationship with money is, it got to a point where I started embracing the unhealthy habits when it comes to personal financial relationships, especially with money. Well, I didn't lose much of it. It got to a point where, okay, hold up, let's have a meeting. You know, money is really leaving my pocket. I need to figure out what's going on. In as much as people say you have to use money to make money, there has to be a clear structure around it. So helping myself put me in a situation where I also started helping other people, right? Naturally, I'm a good communicator or a teacher. In fact, my mom tells me, you, in your other life, you're probably a teacher.
A good teacher.
Yes, I'm good at breaking down complex elements in a way that people can be able to easily understand. And again, it's from the data thing, you know, so you have to analyze big chunks of data and then put them in a report that people can be able to easily understand.
Yeah.
So I started doing that with my friends, my parents, you know, and then over time, I realized it's actually happening because there's a ripple effect, you know. Whatever I'm telling people to do, they're doing it and they're experiencing the financial independence that I'm also experiencing. So it became like a central calling for me. And yeah, here I am.
That's the path you took.
The path chose me.
Nice. I feel like there's something that just stood out for me. Your first million at 21.
Yes.
I feel like I made my first million at 25. So ungekuwa goals.
Vaya sana, tumekuwa tunaclock it.
So like,
Yes.
was it part of, based on what you've said, you did the business maybe
Yes.
back in campus? Is
Yes.
that how you were able to make your first million?
Yes. Because where I went to school, you really had to create that opportunity, you know. And I'm glad that I had friends who are family. I call them family right now. They helped me understand the business side of things, you know. All I had was a vision. All I had was an idea and the zeal or the passion to actually make it happen. Otherwise, I would be a normal idle person in campus, and I didn't like that. I feel like that's not how I was brought up. In fact, my dad usually says, all the newspapers, he will buy newspapers and I'll be there waiting in line for him to finish so that I can read. So I guess it comes from way back, you know. So the business really put me in a position where I was making a lot of money, you know, and that's how I was able to make my first big cash.
Nice.
Yes.
For someone who would want to make their first million, how will they go about it? Like, I know people do different things, people like have different interests, and I think keyword, you said passion.
Yes.
So maybe for any other person in a different field, how will they go about that angle? I feel like saizi, in that era where people really want to make money.
Yes.
And getting money when you're young is such a big flex.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would someone go about that maybe?
All right. So over and above the passion, I know, yes, that plays a very critical role into it. You also have to be very analytical. You have to zero in on a specific niche. So you need to really study the market. You know, it's like working backwards. I want to make 1 million shillings in the next 1 month. This is what I'm good at, you
Yes.
know. And how do you know what you're good at? It's by listening to what people are saying about you, you know. So you have to remove yourself from, that high horse. It's like you're looking at yourself. Look at the woman in the mirror, the man in the mirror. So what are you really good at? You're really good at social media. That's what people say. You have a way of writing captions. You have a way of talking to people on social media. Maybe that's a niche that you can be able to capitalize in. Then now look at the analytics. What is the market saying about this niche, Because now that will help you to really refine the product that you put out there.
Yeah.
Then once you have a product, the product goes hand in hand with the market. So if you have a good product and the market is not ready for it, then there's a disconnect here. So you also have to look at what is the market saying, all right? So in terms of pricing, in terms of right now, people can easily sell things on social media.
Yeah,
There's
that's
this, there's a scope of deliveries, It's easier for me to buy a pair of shoes somewhere. I'll just make a call, they'll deliver, I'll pay, so
Yeah.
quick fix, So how are you able to work with this convenience,
Yeah.
So once you understand these two components, then it's easier for you to come up with a market entry strategy that will get your product in the market. So it's not waking up, I want to make 1 million, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's small steps that get you to that point.
So I'm getting more a lot of discover yourself and also just trying to identify the market niches that you can take advantage of based on your strengths.
Yes. And with so with business, it's not about I think, I want, I feel. In business, you don't go to a strategy table and say, I feel like the market is ready. I mean, what's informing that feeling, Or I think,
Facts.
It's numbers. Show me where the numbers are. And that's strategy, and projections, all right? And that's based on what the market is saying. So a lot of research, data helps here. I feel like my training has really carried me through, because now I can subconsciously, I can clearly tell, okay, your product is not really ready for the market. Let's try and do these things differently. Let's recalculate, let's introspect.
World. Yeah.
Yes.
Back then, like when we said you're a little girl at some point,
Yes.
did you ever see yourself being the woman you are now, doing what you do?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
No, because at some point, inferiority complex, like you feel deep down you are worth enough to do big things, but now you don't feel like you're ready. All right. The yes bit is people around you can see, so they
Your
push you.
potential.
Yes. So they push you in places where you become uncomfortable, and in order for you to find comfort in that uncomfortable situation, now you have to do what is expected of you.
Yeah.
So there's that ripple effect. So, and that's the thing with growth. Growth only happens in uncomfortable situation. By the way, if you ever find yourself in life where you are comfortable, that's the most dangerous place to be in.
Because there's no growth.
There's no growth. There's stagnation. You're more or less like in a plateau kind of situation, So, and if you are comfortable being there, then even the dreams that you have, you might not be able to accomplish it. So the trick is to make yourself uncomfortable. Those things that really scare you, be brave enough to do them. It's actually one of the biggest reasons for success. If you look at the internet, if you research, if you read books, if you watch podcasts and whatnot, they usually say fortune favors the brave.
The brave, yeah.
So you put yourself in situations where you really have to be brave, and then you sort of get rewarded for it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And I think, like you've also mentioned, the people around you, the way people see your potential.
Yes.
Sometimes there are people that don't see their potential until maybe someone sparks that in them.
True.
So I think you should also really surround yourself with people that help you grow.
Correct.
Over time.
Correct.
So you see, as a career woman or where you are at in life, there are these stories that stick with you. For example, see if someone is in the health side of things, there's this Ben Carson story that always empowers. Maybe if you're planning to be a neurosurgeon, it gives you something that you can always relate with, empowers you. What's that one story over time in your path that has stuck with you or shaped who you are?
Who I am. So I'll talk about my founder, Washeke Ndoati, because she has really played a key role in who I am today. First of all, starting an organization that teaches people about money. We do not have so many organizations that do that. And we talk about pretty much everything and anything you need to know about money, from having it, making it, growing it, protecting it, and even sustaining it. If you listen to her talk about her story, how she started, she more or less started similarly, There's something that you're really good at, and you just want to do it, because the passion is there. There's the life that you want, and you feel like this is the roadmap that gets me to that life. And with time, I think this year is 16 years, she's been able to build a very profitable business that not only generates impact in the community, but also helps people to create, money, make money, and also generate impact in their own accords.
Yes.
So there's that which I had learned before coming into this space. Me meeting her and me working together with her has more or less just catapulted, me to another dimension, so that story really sticks with me, and I really carry it every day. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
You've mentioned money. Now we're getting warm.
My kind of language.
So about money, what's the biggest myth people have about money?
Oh, wow. Okay. So the one that I've heard that is really funny, honestly, is you have to be wealthy in order for you to start investing, But you see, it comes from the relationship we have with money when we were growing up.
Yes.
If you look at your childhood, or if you listen to your friends talk about their childhood, especially pertaining to money, they'll say, me, I just know my parents, there's a time my parents had money, then there's a time they didn't have money,
Yes,
all right?
yes.
When they had money, the first instinct was to spend, all right? So rarely will our parents talk to us about saving,
That's
especially
true.
conversations around saving. So subconsciously what that did to us is when we started making our own money, that scarcity mentality really got to us.
Yeah.
So you've made your first paycheck. What do? You buy the nicest pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Or now you say, okay, I can actually
You want
afford
to
a
level
car.
up real
Want
quick,
that car,
real quick.
Yes. But you forget you have a long way to go, So we spend a lot of money, then we forget ourselves. We forget to actually pay ourselves, because savings and investments is pretty much you paying yourself for the good work,
True.
And it's not like the way we say unarudishia mwili pole, you go buy that nice nyama choma and tequila and whatnot,
Yes.
It's not that. In fact, before you do that, make sure you've actually saved and invested. So that's one myth that really shocks me to date. And I also had to learn it the hard way, because I also kind of got to a point where I had to differentiate what's the difference between savings and investment. It's not the same.
Please expound.
So savings is for accessibility and security.
Okay.
So that person who puts their money chini ya mattress, if that place is secure and you can easily access it, it's not different from someone who puts their money in a bank account.
That's
You
true, by the way.
get. So the money that you put in your bank account is money that you want to easily access it, and also banks gives us a bit of security.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
So what does that mean? You really have to understand how your budget looks like. Okay. So where does my money go? So at the end of the month, I need to have X amount of money for me to live comfortably. So that's the money that should be easily accessible. Every other surplus goes into investments. So investments is basically you purchasing assets that will continue to put money in your pocket. So it's simply your money making money for you. And there's a saying that goes, if you don't find a way to make money while you're alive, you'll make money until you die. No, actually, if you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep,
Sleeping,
you will make money until you die.
You will make money.
If
you'll
don't,
keep working.
yes,
you'll keep
exactly.
Working.
It's like a rat race, So your investments now come in to help you, so that when you're sleeping, your money is still making money. Now
Yes.
that's the differentiation. Yeah.
I think also maybe just a question based on what you've mentioned. So I feel like then I don't know if it's a thin line, but then it feels, maybe you can get that guilt feeling when you spend on yourself, because you have to, of course you want to live well.
Yes.
But at the same time, you also need to smartly invest and save. So like, how do you go about that? How do you get to have a balance in between the two?
It's definitely life, there has to be a balanced approach to something, so here's how we usually do it. You see, when you're structuring your budget, actually one of the easiest way to come up with a realistic budget is to have 3 columns. If you're the person that is comfortable with notebook and pen, by all means, that's you. You're a baby boomer, we accept. Good for you, that's you. If Excel is your component, that's you. But a realistic budget is A, B, C, and D. So A, these are my essentials. What is essential for you? So guys that pay rent, that's very essential.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to.
The basic
needs.
needs, yeah.
Exactly. So there category B is important but not essential. And here many ladies will fight me, but we usually say it's important for us to look good, but we really don't have to go to the salon every month. Yeah. You want to fight me? Yes, yeah. So it's important for us to look good, but we don't really have to spend money every month
Yeah.
to go to the salon. There are some hairstyles that can actually stretch you to like 3 months, Yeah, you can. There's always a smart way to go about. That's there. When I talk about uncomfortable situation, you immerse yourself in those uncomfortable situations. You'll always find a way. For the guys, it's important for them to look good.
Yeah.
But they don't really have to pay gym membership every month. You could do home workouts. You could take a walk, go for a run. Like it's really important. Those are non-essentials. You really don't have to spend money every month for that, And then category C, is everything else. Anything that you can do away with. Now, here is what people miss. Sherehe. Yeah. You see the balance that we are talking about.
Yes.
Sherehe is essential, ladies and gentlemen. So in that category A, please put money for sherehe. That way you're also able to, when we say do sherehe with moderation, you're also able to even be accountable to yourself. So if you had put, say for example, 40K for sherehe. If you finished your 40K week 1, then you for sure, you have to wait until the next month for you to indulge or to do whatever. And sherehe doesn't necessarily mean booze, guys. It could be traveler, every other thing that actually gives you that peace in mind. That thing that actually brings the balance that you're looking for.
Maybe based on what you've said, we don't have to maybe go to the salon every month.
Yes.
We can work around it.
Yes.
But what about this? There's also this analogy, I think, in the current life we live in,
Yes.
where we have to look the part.
Yes.
I feel like looking the part can also be equally expensive.
Yes.
But there's also that analogy where if you look the part, maybe, it can also get you to a point where you can make more money and all that.
Yes.
Does that really work?
It does. It does. I mean, we live in a world that's heavily physical, First impression really matters. So if you mess it the first time, you're most likely not be able to actually win the other times, So it's good. Yes, you can invest, if it's essential. Like if it's essential for you, if it's going to help you bring
maybe
more
also
money.
Based on where you are.
Yes.
Okay.
As long, I think the caveat should be, if it's going to make you make more money back to your pocket, then by all means. But if it's not, then that means it's important, yes, but it's not essential.
Yeah.
So you really don't have the capacity to do that every month. Yes.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah.
And what's usually easier? Is making money easier or managing? What's harder? What's easier?
I believe making money is easy.
Managing it is
Managing,
what's a bit hard.
It's hard. It's hard because it goes down to the relationship you have with money. All right. There's that thing called image versus wealth creation.
Yeah.
Right now, if you are driving a big car, you really like it because guys will be, hey, chairlady, madam, Krugenzi, all those nice things. And you're like, yeah, that's me,
That's the
But
life.
maybe you don't have money for fuel.
You're really struggling
you're really struggling. So there's
Yeah.
that thing that we really struggle about. It's called the lifestyle dilemma. All right. So there's that image that we really pursue, and then we tend to live through the opinions of other people. We can only enjoy our money as long as we work hard for it. So we don't get to that point where we are at ease. Okay. But there are people who have been able to shift their mindset, and this is now where financial literacy comes in, because the main essence of it, or rather the overarching objective, is to shift your mindset so that you can be able to live an abundant life.
Nice.
Okay. So how do you do that? You see that car that people probably look down upon, right now people don't know what car I came here with. You get, but I'm here, I'm here. Unless I can shout, oh, I was driving a Porsche, and then now you guys call me a chair lady and whatnot. Guys don't really care about that, So try and find that approach where, what is my long-term goal? And there's something called financial goal planning. What we have right now as young people is time.
Yeah.
In the next few years, we might not have that, In fact, when we look at the different levels of life, in our 20s, it's usually about exploration.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So guys are traveling. So anything you want to do with your money, like there's usually a plan for your money. All right.
Yeah.
I make my money. I'm supposed to travel. I need to go out of the country. I need to buy this. I need to buy. It's okay. Like you're in your 20s. It's okay.
Yeah.
Exploration.
Yeah.
But when you get to your 30s, you realize, so life is starting to get
Gets
serious.
a bit serious. Yeah.
So we usually call that the season of establishment. This is where now you realize your friends are getting married. Now, you didn't buy a piece of land in your 20s, so you're rushing to buy.
You want to accomplish everything now, all at once.
Exactly. So you get into a frenzy, all right? Now you have to start thinking about education, because if you're getting married, you're going to get kids, all right?
That's true.
Guys will start pursuing their master's, PhD. Like, life literally gets serious around this time.
A lot happens also at the same
exactly,
time.
Exactly. In your 40s is all about consolidation. That's why most people in their 40s, over the weekend, while us we are going to take tequila shots, them they are going to see that piece of land that they've never seen. You know, like we hear stories, niko kwa shamba. They're like, oh, that sounds boring. No, it's not. Like it's where they are. Like it's that season of life. Yes. So as young people, in as much as we have time, that gives us an advantage. So stack up as much as possible, so that by the time you're getting to your 40s, you're not trying to like get into another frenzy, you know. So you have actually built up or accumulated assets that will continue supporting the lifestyle that you are currently living right now. Because you also have to consider other monetary factors like inflation, all right? The value of 1,000 shillings right now will not be the same in the next 20 years.
Yeah, that's true.
The moment that gets to your head, you will really take a second to think about buying your friend coffee. Because that 250 shillings, that 500, that looks kidogo.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? That 100 shillings right now, if you invest it in an investment vehicle that gives you 10% per annum compounded right now, in the next 10 years, that 100 bob is 1 million. You see now
that's how you make your millions.
That misconception of that you really need to be wealthy for you to start investing.
You can start small, really small.
That's
actually.
small amount of money, and it's very painless. I mean, it wouldn't hurt for you to put aside 100 bob, 100 bob, 100 bob, 100 bob. But if you do that consistently, in the next 10 years, you'll have 1M. Now, the value of 1 million in the next 10 years, we do not know. But it will be worth something.
Yeah, but it's still something.
It's still something. Yes.
I think maybe I'm just recalling what you've said about the car.
Yes.
I was watching a certain comedian here in Kenya. He mentioned how you, for example, when you came to this building, you might have come in with a very big G-Wagon, name the big cars. You go for a meeting, and you meet a boss there, and, I could treat just like a normal person. And he was saying the way you feel like you can even tell that person just to escort you to the parking lot.
So that they can see who I am.
By the time you're doing business there, it doesn't really relate to what you came with and all that. So unless it's necessary, you don't really need to, push it to the, like to measures that you can't be able to sustain.
Maybe also to add to that is, it's not bad. We all love the good things. I, for one,
that's the goal, by
I
the
do
way.
drive a very nice car.
Yeah.
But before I got there, I had to sacrifice
a lot.
So that meant driving a small car
at first.
And then now you accumulate assets that will support the usage of that good car that you want.
And you're able to be there comfortably.
Yes. Because a car, unless a car is bringing money into your pockets, a car is actually a consumption asset. Meaning, if you've taken a loan to buy that car, you're still going to go back to your pocket to sustain the usage of that car. It's not an investment asset. So even in your balance sheet somewhere, when you're listing your assets and liabilities, you have to be very, very clear.
Categorical.
Yes. This car, I have to go back to my pocket to pay that loan that I've taken to buy this car, and also go back to my pocket to sustain. So maintenance, fuel, all those things, you know. And then the reward that you're getting is me calling you madam. I mean, 1 + 1. Anyway.
I hear you.
Yes.
I think based on where you are in life, you just need to make proper decisions. If your car is a necessity, why not? If it's not, I think you need to properly plan or attend one of the financial literacy sessions. About the financial literacy bit, I feel like a lot of people look at it as a serious type of conversation. How do you make it fun? These young people, of course, like Gen Zs. I feel like we're in a world where people prefer things a bit easy. How are you able to incorporate the fun side with the financial literacy?
I try as much as possible to make learning very experiential. Money is very personal, so it has to go beyond theory. You sitting in a class or you going through theoretical concepts. There has to be that immediate applicability of the content. So a lot of storytelling, a lot of practical components. Some things you only learn when you practice them.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could be probably going through a series on our relationship with money and the lifestyle dilemma, and then I'm asking you some introspective questions. It's very overwhelming. Like I've seen many people tell me, Kathleen, I'm not doing this because now I have to go back and talk to my spouse and tell them, I need to tell you something. People fear that, like the conversations around money. People fear that.
Yeah.
So how do we make it practical? So we give you a template. So go sit down. Don't do, especially when it comes to money, we usually say, if you want to be wealthy, you need to love two things. You need to love how to read, and you also need to love mathematics. So calculators should be your best friends.
Mathematic.
If you can't, yes, if you can't, Mwalimu Muhammad's is where Mwalimu Muhammad's will shine, But if you can't do that, then get a financial advisor or someone who has that skill, who can be able to guide you, all right? So what you do, sit down with your pen paper, try and see from all the transactions that I've made, where am I losing money in the process? So I'll give you an example. If you take your phone right now, you look at your M-Pesa transactions, who you've sent money to, right? There's that bit of transaction cost.
Yes.
People really ignore that. Yes,
bit.
yes. So if you want to see where you lose money so many times, that could be one of the ways.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. The other side of the divide is investors like us who have invested in M-Pesa, all right? Me, I usually tell people, use M-Pesa as much as because you're making me money. You know, at the end of the year, yes. But what I'm trying to say is be really careful and be really alert when it comes to money because it's very personal. I'll give you 4 principles that people use when it comes to personal financial management, the universal principles the wealthy use. The first thing that they do is pay themselves first, meaning saving and investment. Yeah. So even before going for share, even before doing anything, they have stacked up money.
Yes.
All right. So the second thing that they do is they track the expenses. Have you realized the wealthy people keep track of the expenses? It could be in form of receipts, but they have statements. Like they're very keen about, because now it helps.
Even the nitty-gritty.
Yes. It helps them to understand, where am I losing money in the process and where can I be smart? Because maybe I'm using mobile banking here, but it's easier for me to use card. All right? So then now they make the conscious decision, which is the best solution for this. All right? Then that thing that they do is they assess their debts. Now, debt is not bad. Debt is good. In fact, by the way, if I'm being honest, one of the only ways to be wealthy is through debt. Good debt.
You heard.
All right?
Good debt.
Growing up, and then let's go back to our tradition.
Yeah.
Growing up, childhood, tulikuwa tunaambiwa nini? Debt is what? Is bad.
Deni ni mbaya.
Avoid debt as much as possible. Yes, avoid it as much as possible. But you see what wealthy people do? They'll they'll get debt, they'll purchase assets, they'll pay off the debt, they've made money. So you're there, you're really holding on to your salon. You're really,
you're trying to really
you
grow,
you really can't leapfrog your potential up to a point where you're really, it will take you so long, So the only way you can be able to actually leapfrog your not earning potential, but your wealth potential is through debt. Good debt.
Good debt is the key word.
Yes, good debt, because bad debt is debt that you take for consumption. That debt that you take to buy your 85-inch TV. Again, we'll call you Kurugenzi, because the TV looks nice, but you're still paying off that debt.
You're going to suffer in silence later.
Exactly. That's a consumption asset, so that's bad debt. Good debt is you're taking out debt to purchase an asset that will continue putting money into your pocket. Then the fourth thing that they do is they really invest. All right? Invest. I think that's the most important
keyword.
Invest.
Take away for
invest.
today.
Purchase those assets. Take advantage of the compound element of investment. Compounding is your money earns interest, and then that interest earns interest. So you see that compounding effect.
Yes.
Invest a lot, and you don't really have to start with a lot of money. Start with even 100 bob. You can easily start off with investments.
Nice.
Yeah.
maybe about the investment bit. I know there are very many ways people can invest in.
Yes.
Maybe you can mention a few, because I'm sure someone is like, okay, I'll invest.
Yeah.
But
Where to start?
Where to start? Is
Okay.
it properties? Is it shares? Is it
Yes.
international investments? Where can they start?
Yes. So now, with investments, again, we also have to be careful. All right. Money is a game. If you play it badly,
You'll get
lose.
hurt.
Yes, and you'll get emotionally, kwa mfuko, you'll get hurt. So investments serve 3 goals. Number 1 is capital preservation. Capital preservation is a good example would be, I have 1 million shillings right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the 1 million. I need time.
Yeah.
And because I know myself, you see that relationship with money, I know myself.
Yeah.
1 million, haitakuwa 1 million kesho.
True.
You know that clear understanding that this is the relationship I have with money. So then you take up an investment avenue that will protect or preserve that capital. When you need it, you'll get it. All right. A good example would be, we see parents doing this a lot, or even us. I mean, me now, we're getting into the game of investing.
Yeah.
So they'll purchase a bond. Okay. So a bond is a good example of capital preservation.
Yeah.
So you probably purchase a bond, a 5-year bond. So at the end of those 5 years, you'll still get your 1M. And then it combines with another goal called income. Because now, from the interest that you get from the bond, there's money that's coming into your account. Okay? The only caveat with bonds, it's simple interest. Okay? So if you're taking out a bond for a coupon rate of 12%, you get 12% of the 1M, and you'll be paid twice in a year. It's biannual. Okay? And it's simple interest. So whether anything happens, like your money is not making, you understand simple interest from mathematics. Yeah. That's the only caveat. So first goal, capital preservation. Second goal, income. Okay? A good example again for income is rental property. The only problem we have with rental property is the easiest way for you to make wealth through that is, you see these people that buy large pieces of land and then they subdivide.
Yes.
Those guys make millions. They make a lot of money. So you're striving to get your car 50 by 100. No. The rate of increase for property, I think in Kenya is about 5%.
Yeah, that's
kidogo.
True.
You see, the only person that will be able to make a lot of money from properties, they buy a big piece of land and then they
chunks, acres, and then they subdivide.
In fact, one of our trainers at Centonomy usually says, the buroti maguta, that's nonsense. That's okay, not my words, his words, he says that in class, that's the only way. Then the other goal is growth. So these are for my people that want to really multiply there, and there's so many avenues, all right? Crypto, like we can go into those nitty-gritties. But over and above all that, as an investor, you really need to know what your true balance is.
Yeah.
So your true balance is, do I have the bandwidth to manage this investing or this investment? Okay. So it's like, that car graph of around, you will find out.
Yes,
you see that car graph?
Yes.
So it goes like that. So up chini, we have the moderate investor. So these are people like, I don't really have the bandwidth to manage any loss. So these are the people that will stock up their money in money market. Them, they are
low
good.
risk investments.
Low risk. Yes. Then now we have the conservative ones. Or is it conservative, then moderate, then aggressive? Yes, it's conservative, moderate, aggressive. So once you know your true balance, then it makes it easier for guys that invest. Because now if you're conservative and then you work with someone who's gonna put your money in an aggressive,
it won't balance out.
So you probably call you tomorrow and tell you, oh, your 1M has gone, and then now you collapse pale Kenyatta Avenue. And then natumeenda kukona keke wa drink, because anyway, so you really need to know your true balance. Yes.
And I think I'm picking, there's now a big difference between capital generation and capital preservation.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you have to know where exactly you lie.
True.
Nice.
True.
So for you, what was your first biggest saving that you did? Like in terms of, what was the first big thing you ever saved up for?
Aka.
Was
Yeah.
this after your first million or before?
It was transitioning. It was within that period. Yeah, really saved up. Driving a car felt so nice. It does.
100%. That I agree with you.
You can't, please. Please, yes.
At some point, it can be a necessity.
Yeah.
If it's not, again,
Yeah.
me, I'm for ninunue gari nitafute shamba nayo.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Nisinyeshewe.
Usinyeshewe.
So,
Oh my God.
and what's like one of the best financial advices you've ever had or that you can tell us?
Someone. Wow, that's a good question. One of the best financial advices that I've gotten and that I can tell someone else is it's never really too late to start. You know, I feel like for most of us, we feel like, oh, I wish I knew this when I was young. I wish I knew this 10 years ago. I mean, I've done trainings and I've gotten people who are way old. They'll come and tell me, oh, I wish I knew this when I was your age. Now, you know, the clock is done for me.
Yeah.
And I really feel bad, you know, because it's really never too late, you know.
It's never too late.
Just start, you know. The right
From
time is
wherever
now.
you are, whatever age.
Yeah. Just start, you know. Don't give up. Don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Take charge of your life.
Yeah.
You'll be so surprised how life rewards you for just being bold.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And over time, you've designed systems and learning programs for both individuals and organizations.
Exactly.
What
Yes.
really makes this program successful?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'll answer it in two ways. One, as a data person, because now there has to be that qualitative impact and quantitative impact. So qualitative is behavioral changes. This is from testimonials or people that come and tell me, I went through this class. This has really shaped, you know, my relationship with money. I'm glad I did this class on debt. Now I'm no longer in debt, you know. I'm glad I did this class on investing. I've actually sat down with a fund manager and things are really looking nice, you know. So those are some things that usually tell me then the learnings, the content, the curriculum that I'm designing is very impactful, you know.
Yeah.
Then quantitative, now we look at the numbers, you know. How many people have actually, let's look at debt reduction. How many people have actually experienced that, you know? So if you're working with a working group of about 50, how many out of the 50 have actually done this, you know?
Yeah.
The statistics, yeah. So I look at it in both fronts. Then now we also have to look at the social impact of it.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's something that's very progressive. Not something that you can easily get. I mean, you'll get feedback after every class. But you see, with personal finance, you have to get into the mud and actually do the work.
Yes.
Okay? I feel so nice when someone tells me, I love what you said about this, or I loved that I came to class and this was taught, and I taught my father.
Oh, nice.
You know that,
Yeah.
like that ripple effect that goes back into the community, because we're children of the community, you know.
True.
You being an ambassador of your community and saying, it is because of this class that I can see that people in my community have been able to do A, B, C, and D, you know. If I'm able to see those ends of the spectrum balancing, then that to me tells me that whatever I'm designing is impactful.
Ish, that's nice. And you being a young leader in your space currently with the financial literacy, financial movement initiatives, what would be a hashtag you'd give your movement?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
Kurusha chini ya basi.
Oh, my goodness. Tumesasa tuanze sasa movement. What's a hashtag I would give my...
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I think that's something I'd have to think about. Or maybe people can tell me. I don't know. People can tell me. But I would love my work to go beyond me as Kathleen. I am a product of someone who really put in the work and was able to hold me, you know. I want to pass the baton at some point, pass on the baton to someone who has been looking up to me and has grown just by mere fact of me not giving up, you know. Those comments that I get on social media that I am, keep on, you know, keep pushing, I'm behind you, I'm coming. In my head, I'm like, oh God, you know, I was giving up yesterday, but now,
new strength,
yes, you know, yes, let's go. I would want my work to go beyond who I am as Kathleen. You know, I would want my generation to say, it's because of her that
they were able to get where they are.
Yes. So I don't know what hashtag that will be.
Maybe like hashtag beyond Kathleen.
Maybe. Actually, hashtag beyond Kathleen, I don't know. Yeah. But yes, that's what I would want my work to speak.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So I read your bio. It's quite interesting. So from what I gathered, you're one of those young African leaders in your space.
Yes.
Maybe you can just walk us through the different organizations you've worked with, a bit of that side of the journey.
Okay, all right. So I started off with my own organization, all right? And then I moved to health. So what I did back then, I was working with a very nice organization that was trying to redefine how we approach healthcare in the country. You know, in fact, that's one of my mentors. That's where I met one of my mentors. His name is Sven. You know, Sven really shaped how I approached life and how I needed to think in order for me to get ahead in life, right? So at the time, I was in the growth department, and what that meant, I had to provoke growth for our clients. So that meant me going out there, interacting with people, doing all sorts of things. So that puts you in a place where you tend to understand what people think, how they think, what they want done to them, you know. So over time, I've carried that lesson with me, all right? Even with the other industries that I've been in. Because after that, I went to renewable energy. So here is where now my entrepreneurship talent came in, yeah? Because I hired a client who wanted to open a subsidiary here in Kenya. So bringing that entrepreneurship aspect to it, trying to help him to set it base
up,
here, yes, getting investors. Because see, the way people invest in bonds and whatnot, we have investors that actually invest in solar. For commercial purposes, like putting up solar panels in factories, in schools and whatnot. There are people who actually do that,
Nice.
But now with COVID, people really retracted, all right? So that's the time that I found myself in the security sector. So my work has pretty much been both the private sector and the non-state. So these are the NGOs, the INGOs, which has put me in a place where I even had to move out of the country for a while, know. What that did to me is you're now immersed in a different community. So you've grown up with Kenyans, 90% of the people that's around you are Kenyans. So now you find yourself in a place where you're the only Kenyan,
it's a different exposure.
Different exposure altogether, you know. I mean, I've been in rooms and people wouldn't even imagine that I was Kenyan. So they'll be like, and it's probably a conference in Kenya, they'll be like, so when are you going back to your country?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? This is actually my country, But now out there now, you're probably very few Kenyans, it puts you in a place where you feel like you have to represent yourself very well. And then now dealing with people from different multicultural backgrounds, it opens your mind. So you are used to how Kenyans think, feel, imagine, do their things. So now you're in another country working with different people from other different countries. So it opens your mind and you start thinking differently. And I think for me, that's what catapulted me to a point where I believed I could fly. And so I did. And I flew. And I'm still flying.
No limits.
No limits. Actually, no limits. I usually tell people that's around me, the thing about Kathleen is if you are in my close circle, unknowingly I'll just push you to be your best. By just being me, and I've been told that.
Oh, nice.
Unknowingly I'll just push you to be my best because I'll be talking about things that I want to do. I'll bounce off ideas, this is what I want to do. Oh, look what came into my table. So this guy wants us to do this and this and this. So it puts you in a place where you also have to also grow. You know. So people say, if you're part of my circle, unknowingly I'm just going to push you to fly.
Just do better.
So you have to be delusional enough to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself so much. Believe in your capacity, believe in your potential, believe in the gifts, the strength, the cool things that have been given to you, you know. And the bare minimum, we usually say you exist not because of yourself but because of someone else. So as long as you wake up every day, it's not for you, it's for someone who's really looking up to you. So imagine if you fail, you have failed a generation.
You have a higher purpose.
Yes, everyone has a higher purpose. So the moment you tap into that, there's no going back.
You've mentioned maybe being out there, giving you a bit of exposure. So maybe based on the fact that I know most of our audience maybe are based here in Kenya,
Yeah.
are you saying we also need to really be well-traveled, just get a bit of exposure? Does that really help, really?
No, I think now, right now, with the advent of technology, you can do that. You can do
Ah.
that. Like, I can easily know what China is doing by,
Yes, tech.
yes,
Eh.
yes, yes. So, okay, it makes me sound old. Even then, when I was traveling, those technology, let me say. But right now, it's easier for us to actually know so much that's happening out there.
Yeah.
What I will try to emphasize is, don't try and limit your knowledge within the geographical landscape that you're placed in or
Yeah.
that you are in at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Try and find out what Ethiopia is doing in the financial sector. Try and find out what South Africa is doing. Even our neighbors here, Uganda, try and find out what's going on there. That area of interest that you're actually pursuing, try and find out what's happening.
Yeah.
Go down even into the policy level. What are the legislatures saying about, because that will give you a clear picture of what will happen the next 2-3 years.
That's
right
true.
now, what bills are they passing? What's the law? What does the law say about this and this? What do people say about Kenyans? So that when life gives you an opportunity to get into that country,
Yeah.
you pretty much know some things about the country.
That's
so it
how you get to even identify those niches we were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then with technology, you even find people that are doing the same things that you're doing who are there. Connect. What has helped me grow so much is the networks that I've built, and just being fluid. The thing with life, you really have to change forms.
Yeah.
What I started doing is not what I'm doing right now, but I accepted the role that life demanded of me for the next chapter or for the next door. You're not a tree. Change
is inevitable.
And it's inevitable.
Yeah.
And if you run away from change, it's the most painful thing. Because if life demands you to be this way and you're running away. See that story of Jonah? You guys usually say, oh, you've been swallowed by a fish. Okay, try and put that in the reality
in perspective.
Right now.
Yeah.
It can be very painful. So embrace your calling, align your goals, and leave the rest to God.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's really deep.
Thank you.
Maybe just as we wind up,
Yes.
you were in the health sector. Just one health tip based on maybe what you were doing.
Okay. So can I combine that with finance?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
So there's something that was going on when I was in the health sector. You see the way when you go to the hospital, you'll find like those big ultrasound machines. So with technology and also AI, we right now in Kenya we have portable ultrasound machines, something as small as normal smartphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Kitambo, we used to carry people to the hospital so that we can do x-rays for them and then figure out what's wrong. Right now, we go to their homes. Cool. So that means for someone, even if don't have a medical whatever background, you could actually purchase those ultrasound machine and then employ people who will go into those machineries, do the ultrasounds. Basically, you're making money.
Yes.
So it redefined how we look at health. And even for the health practitioners right now, it's easier for them because what that meant is you can do remote sonography.
Yes.
I don't need to be in the hospital for me to do
the sonography.
Yes. So there's a clinical officer who's there. So I'll just guide them. Move the nini like this. I know they have their medical languages.
The world of tech.
Yes. So now that's something that really fascinated me back then. And it also provided an opportunity for investment. So I did buy one.
Oh, nice.
And we are cruising on swiftly. Yeah. And it was not expensive, guys. Okay, there's also the accommodation for leasing. So I don't have to spend like a lot of money to buy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Kenya. Kenya really helps us a lot. I can lease whatever device.
Yeah.
Go work with it, make money.
Yeah.
A portion of that income that I've gotten, I'll pay it back.
Yes.
So it's balancing all ends of the spectrum. Yeah.
I feel with the information you're giving, people can do so much research.
Yeah. Actually, it's called the butterfly ultrasound machine. So if they can Google that, they'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Yeah. And if you look at equity in terms of investment, healthcare is one of the top 3.
It is.
Areas to invest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We actually, healthcare is everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
So maybe now like a parting shot.
Okay. So let me talk about what my father and I hope he's gonna watch it someday. Because I feel like, yeah, Dad, so there's something that he always used to tell me and my siblings.
Yeah.
And he will put it in a way where at the time it didn't make sense, but right now it does.
Yeah.
So he will tell us, I want you to imagine yourself in a jungle, right? So every day in that jungle, when the lion or the cheetah, think of all the carnivores, when they wake up, they know they must outrun the fastest herbivores, the gazelle, the warthog, in order for them to what?
Have a meal.
Exactly.
Assume.
Yes.
Yes.
In the same jungle, the gazelle, the herbivores, when they wake up, they know they need to outrun the fastest carnivores in order for them to do what? To survive.
Yeah.
All right? So in the context of us right now, you might receive backlash from life itself. So you could be a herbivorous in certain situations. So this could be based on you don't have enough education, you don't have enough experience, you don't have, basically you're limited to an extent, all right?
Yeah.
Or you could be a carnivorous in certain situations, But if you ever find yourself where you are experiencing backlash from life itself, could be something that you don't have control over right now, that shouldn't get into your head. You just need to understand that it's a man-eat-man society.
Yeah.
So every day when you wake up, you need to make the decision. Am I surviving or am I eating? So once you know where you are, then make the choice to be on the position that gives you the most advantage. That will be my parting shot.
Oof. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for the energy, for the brilliance, for such an amazing session, and for taking time to do this with us.
Thank
This
you.
has been such an impactful session, a masterclass in therapy rolled in one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all our viewers for watching this. This Pesa Chronicle session was powered by Scoop Markets. Thank you.